And yes, India has beaten Australia by 9 wickets in the third ODI. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, what a partnership it has been, as more power to Team India and their partnership that led to our victory. Roko shine in third ODI against Australia. Rohit Sharma scored a century against Australia, and Rohit Sharma's 33rd ODI century against Australia that he nailed. Kohli also scored a half century against Australia, and this has once again brought to the fore their partnership and how it came back in form. Virat Kohli scored 75th ODI 50 milestone. Let me go straight to my colleague Nikhil Naas, joining us on the broadcast with the highlights of the match and what a victory it has been for India.
Well, it has been. And I know if you take a look at the context of the game, uh, bilateral series don't attract a lot of attention. Bilateral series win, especially in ODI cricket, is not something that is spoken about a lot. Uh, but this was a very crucial series, primarily because of the two players that you've just mentioned, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. We know that they've retired from two other formats in T20 and Test cricket. The only time we get to see these two stalwarts don the India jersey is in the ODI format. And now, in the twilight of their career, they're fighting against time to be available or to be selected for the big event that we have in ODI cricket. That is the 50-over World Cup, which is due to be held in 2027. So this is a tournament that both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli want to be a part of. But they are also running against time. Competition is growing, and they really needed to step up and show that they're still the two best batters that India has in this format. That is why this particular series was trial by fire for both Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. And boy, did they finish on a high note. For Rohit Sharma, he has ended up as the highest scorer for India in this series. He couldn't have asked for a better performance. Gets 100 here, then also got a 70 plus in the last game. So he is India's standout performer. He will be 40 by the time that tournament comes along. But even at age 38, he's showing that he's still the best opener that India has and one of the best batters that is there across the globe in ODI cricket. To Virat Kohli, he had a very unusual start to this series. Two ducks, both games that he played in Adelaide as well as Perth, and finished with two ducks. Now, that's a dubious record that he never had in his entire career. And then many were ready to write his obituary, maybe even suggesting that he's not good enough now because he's not playing the two other formats. We barely see him playing for India. So can he really be in that rhythm and perform at the level that we're so used to seeing him perform? And guess what he's done today? Gets you a 70 odd. A timely reminder to everyone that form may be temporary, but class is permanent. Both Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli showing you that, and also putting their intention in front of the rest of the world that they are here to stay. They're right now not deciding to quit this particular format, and 2027 Cricket World Cup probably will be their swan song. What they've made very clear now after this two knock. Is that this is probably the last time that they're playing in Australia. They only play ODI cricket, and the next time India will have an ODI series versus Australia in Australia would be after the 2027 World Cup. So they probably would have retired by then. So in that sense, it's a special country. Both of them have said it's a country where they've performed very well. Rohit Sharma has more ODI hundreds than Virat in Australia, but then Virat has done much better than Rohit when it comes to Test cricket in Australia. So fond memories for both those players. That's why the two of them got a bit emotional after this particular knock. So they won't be going and playing in Australia, but of course, they look forward to some more battles against one of the best teams in the world in Australia in other parts of the world as they mount the challenge to be playing the all-important World Cup in 2027.
Absolutely, Nikhil, and fans are celebrating at this point. I literally want to take it with you bit by bit. Talking about Rohit Sharma, he's one player of the series, and he's also said that that's what you expect in Australia. It's not going to be easy. You got to understand the situation. Haven't played for a long time. Most importantly, how he silenced those who questioned his form and his fitness.
That's true. See, I think Rohit Sharma gave us an indication how serious and how motivated he is to be playing for India in this format till the 2027 World Cup. He's going to be 40 by the time that World Cup comes along. And historically, that's not a number that really suits a batter, because never in the history of Indian cricket has a 40-year-old played a 50-over World Cup. Sachin Tendulkar, who played, till 38, also did not play a World Cup when he was 40. You've had many other stalwarts like Sanat Jayasuriya, Graham Gooch, who've played till very late in their careers, but even they were not 40 when a Cricket World Cup came along. So he was running against time. That is why he had to prove that he can be fit enough and play that World Cup. And why is it that Rohit Sharma is that motivated? He's won everything else, but he does not have a 50-over title in his cabinet. And I'm sure that is exactly what he's gunning for. The year did not start off very well for him. Not the year, actually, this particular ODI season didn't start off on a good note for him because he lost his ODI captaincy. And that was a bolt from the blue where you made a young Shubman Gill the ODI captain. I'm sure that is something that wouldn't have gone down well with Rohit Sharma. That probably would have sent him some sort of an indication that maybe they're having doubts over his participation going forward. But he never gave up. The first thing and the first visible difference that you could see with Rohit Sharma in that off season, while the Indian team was playing the Asia Cup, the Indian team was playing the Test series, both of those tournaments that he was not part of, he was working very hard. Eventually, he's come back to the cricket field having lost 11 kilos. You can see clearly the physical difference there while he's on the pitch. That is something that he's worked really hard on. So clearly that was the first sort of intention, the first sign coming in from Rohit Sharma that he's very serious about playing for another 2 years. That was the first bit. Then he starts off this series in the first particular ODI, tough condition, gets an absolute jaffer from Hazelwood, gets out pretty early. And then, as you know, the daggers were out. Everyone questioning whether he's good enough to continue or not. Then comes up with a patient 70 odd, riding his luck. It wasn't easy going in the second ODI in Adelaide. Many deliveries troubling him a lot. But what did he do? He went against his natural grain. He's a very aggressive batter. But on that occasion in Adelaide, he knew he needed to bide his time. He needed to spend some time on the crease and runs will come. And that's exactly what happened. That 70 odd, scratchy albeit, is the one that would have given him that confidence. And then the 100 that he plays today, quintessential Rohit Sharma,
Right.
playing some of the best strokes that you can see in
Right.
cricket. And that was clearly on display in this particular ODI too.
Okay, Nikhil, let's talk about Virat Kohli now because, like you rightly mentioned, after two ducks, the way he emerged today, and most importantly, he surpassed Kumar Sangakkara to become the second highest run getter in the ODIs. As has happened in the past, trolls take on Anushka Sharma at times like these when he's not in his best form. But again, he's bounced back, and how?
I mean, to answer the second part of your question about trolls taking on, I think that is very unfortunate. I don't think that is something that even Virat Kohli appreciates. Going after people around Virat Kohli and blaming them for his failures, I think is rather unfortunate. And a lot of times we've seen bowlers as well. The last game, Virat Kohli got out for a duck. The bowler in Xavier Bartlett was criticized. He was trolled on Instagram for having dismissed Virat Kohli. So such is the nature of fandom, I think, in cricket, where fans, quite often, and such is the nature of social media as well, where fans have this direct access and then they take out their frustration because their favorite cricketer might not have done well. But today, as I said, today is the day to talk about what Virat Kohli has achieved. You're right. He's gone past Kumar Sangakkara, who sat at 12,234, a landmark which we all knew. Virat Kohli has gone past it. Now is the second highest run scorer in ODI history. And what would make any Indian proud is the man who's sitting in number one is also, of course, an Indian. Sachin Tendulkar, 18,000 plus runs. So Virat is about 4,000 runs away from Sachin Tendulkar. That mountain is unlikely for Virat also to climb because, to get 4,000 runs, he needs to be playing for very many years from here on. That, is not a scenario that is on the table at the moment. At best, you will see him maybe play for another couple of years. 2027 World Cup, as I've been talking, could be that moment that he calls time on his career. But even to be second best to Sachin Tendulkar, I think, is the biggest compliment. If you were to ask Virat Kohli that as well, he'd say that. But this particular knock was very crucial for Virat. I know that, even if he hadn't gotten runs here, he still would have turned up for India versus South Africa, but he would have come out with a lot of pressure. As we saw him play the first two ODIs, I felt that this was a very unusual Virat that I was seeing. It's not that he hasn't scored ducks before. He got two ducks in this particular series. It's happened to him in the past where he's had a few failures. He's allowed a few failures. But on those occasions, you would see a very confident Virat. What you noticed this time in those first two ODIs was a bit, reluctant approach from a Virat Kohli, a bit unsure about, how he needs to be playing certain deliveries. And that was very unusual for someone who's followed his career for about a decade and a half. But I'm so glad to notice that he put those doubts behind him in the third ODI. Remember, had he gone another ODI without runs, the waiting period for him to prove his detector as long would have been very long, about 3 to 4 weeks. And I think those would have been very uncomfortable 3 or 4 weeks for Virat Kohli till the next time that he would come out on a one-day arena versus South Africa at home. So I think this was much needed so that he can now, put all the doubters behind him, put any doubts that he may have had in his mind behind him because he's got those 70 odd. It's a reassurance, because he came into international cricket after a break of almost 5 months. So this probably would have reassured him that, listen, he still has it. That class is still permanent. He knows how to get runs. He's been getting it for almost 14, 15 years, and he can continue in the same vein. So would have given Virat a lot of confidence, would have given his fans a lot of confidence, dare I say, would have given the entire nation a lot of confidence with what you saw of Virat Kohli. Rode his luck initially, wasn't looking very comfortable, but that tends to happen if you're coming back after a long break, and then eventually is not out till the end, ensures that he takes his team over the line. This will give him a lot of confidence. So the next time he comes out in the
Right.
India jersey here at home, I don't think that pressure or those questions around his participation going forward will be asked.
Okay, you're talking about that and one of their finest performances indeed, but as they're all ready to bid goodbye to Australia when they were asked on the 2027 ODI World Cup, they avoided those questions, once again giving speculation to what does the future hold when it comes to Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Nikhil, we leave it at that at the moment. Thank you so much for taking us through the latest of how India eventually went on to stand victorious in Sydney on Australian ground.